Howdy y'all, we are looking at every single VR golf course that is currently available, specifically from Golf Plus and Golf 5 eClub. eClub just released their much anticipated Back 9 for Tropical, and Golf Plus came out with 2 legendary course DLCs in Pinehurst No. 2 and Pebble Beach. I need to intro my ranking criteria, but if you don't care about that, jump to the timestamp on the screen to get directly into the action. Today, I'm primarily looking at the beauty and the variety of play each course offers. In addition to this, I will also be talking about the difficulty of the courses themselves, but this won't have too much sway in the rankings, as there can be incredibly easy courses that are phenomenal. However, there will be some favoritism given to higher difficulties as we get deeper into the list. A few items up front that should be considered. I am only comparing the beauty of courses as seen through the lens of the MetaQuest 2 standalone play quality. eClub is exclusively available on the Quest Store, while Golf Plus is available on Quest and Rift stores. For those that don't know, Rift is essentially PCVR via Meta's platform, so the courses for Golf Plus get amplified in beauty when played with a PC. However, I would assume that 90% of you are playing standalone, so I feel it is fair to do this list as a standalone. Second, Golf Plus allows you to freely roam every course, whereas eClub just allows you to teleport within a confined area during each hole. This means Golf Plus needs to be more optimized when it comes to running the game on a system. Third, when I discuss difficulty, I am not talking about the ease of getting par. I'm discussing the technical difficulty of the shots to remain on the fairway or the ease of putting on the green. Whew, that was a long introduction. Let's get after it. The Dunes from Golf 5 eClub comes in at the lowest ranked course of the 11 available due to its lack of variety in fairways and green. Each of the holes felt exactly like the last one for 18 holes in a row, leaving much to be desired when it comes to changing things up. This is a decent course for beginners to start on, however. The atmosphere is nice and quaint in and of itself, with the surroundings matching up to my expectations for a golf sims environment. It is pleasant to be around, but the actual quality of the gameplay is severely lackluster. Just a note, all of the courses in eClub are not replicated from real life, so they could have added some variety without sacrificing beginner golfers' enjoyment. I so badly wanted to put this one in last place just because of ruined expectations by myself, but its variety in fairway and greens alone allowed it to remain second to last instead of last. Pinehurst was one of the more recently released DLCs in Golf Plus's repertoire that has ultimately fallen flat. The graphics and textures of the course are really rough to look at, and they provide really no visual appeal. Everywhere is just kind of splotches of green and red that leave a lot to be desired. The greens and fairways are decent enough in a vacuum, but considering other DLCs already available, I wouldn't desire to play any of them in this manner. Unless you are somehow completely tired of Golf Plus's other 7 courses available, save your money and leave this DLC behind. Valhalla is the first course in the list of Golf Plus's course list, and as such, it doesn't reach the aesthetic beauty that the rest of the list provides. The colorful tree textures are nice for the first couple of holes, but the sameness of the colors throughout the 18 holes leaves much to be desired as they feel more and more fake as time goes on. This does not, however, stop this from being an excellent course to play on. There is a lot of complexity in how the holes are set up, with water features and trees often being perfect natural barriers for the pin. This is a really great course for beginner players to play on because I think it does a great job of teaching different angles and heights that you have to deal with while golfing. Everything in this course is exactly what I expected when I first started playing around with VR golf. The variety of the made-up course, much like Valhalla, is exactly what I want for beginners. It is easy to pick up and get a triple bogey, but it is hard to master with birdies and pars. Although I think it lacks the smart usage of the trees as natural barriers that Valhalla had, the environment feels much more real to life. Taking a romp through this environment really is quite enjoyable, and the variety is enough to feel like every few holes are switching it up from the last little pack. This is the part of the list where expectations begin to meet reality, at least for me. Oh, tropical, tropical, tropical. How the mighty have fallen. When I began to compile game time and recordings for this video, there was only the front 9 of Tropical to play through. But just before editing started, eClub released the back 9 of this course to make it a full 18 holes. And honestly, that was a big mistake because Tropical fell from 4th in the list all the way down to 7th due to the release. The front 9 of Tropical is incredible. Each of the 9 holes is different and complex with greens to match it. It was to be my only 5 out of 5 variety rank course, and it was a 4.5 out of 5 difficulty ranking. But the back 9 took a massive turn at the turn. Every single hole in that back 9 was the same, over and over. The difficulty almost seemed to take a sharp decline. This inconsistent change makes me move it down the rankings by 3 rungs to 7. However, if you get a chance to play the front 9 of this course, do so. It is so good. These next 3 courses are really where we begin to leave the expectations I had about standalone golf sim physics well behind, and we get into courses that are just a real joy to be a part of. Alpine is a hell of a course to start that off as well. Here you are placed into an alpine forest course that is nestled in the valley of a mountain range. The area is quaint and cozy, and the tree texture quality is handled really well in comparison to the background behind it. The variety of the course is nothing too special, but it does a good job of occasionally mixing in water and tree boundaries to mess with your game. I do, however, wish there was a bit more change as you go from hole to hole. The difference between alpine and cliffs is extremely subjective. Both provide beautiful surroundings. It just depends on if you like the idea of trees and mountains or cliffs and oceans. Many of my feelings about the courses are the same, but I think Cliff's use of natural surroundings, despite really missing trees, was much more imaginative. This imaginative use of natural barriers really takes the difficulty on the fairways up, making poorly pulled shots fly off into the ocean, making you repeat shots from your original spot, or lose a stroke due to the water hazard. The greens, however, pull the difficulty rating down a bit for both, as they remain relatively simple in the grand scheme of things. Starting off with the final 4, Kiowa is a great show of what is to come. These next courses show complexity in both the fairways and the greens, while also being wonderful places to play golf. Kiowa is an island course that hails from South Carolina. The use of the marsh-like atmosphere is really wonderful here. At the front of the course, there's a bit of concern that this DLC is going to be a bit like Pinehurst in its heavy use of red and green splotches. However, as you move past the first couple of holes, the usage of colors and features becomes wonderfully complex. You get to see shored up greens, water features, brush, and trees alongside the low-lying fairways. The variety of the fairways and greens is just a bit better than typical, but the atmosphere can be relatively punishing for hazards, making the difficulty just that much bit higher. Castle Links is the final course in this list that is not a direct replication of a real-life course that already exists, and I believe that should be celebrated. It's a number 1 for the courses where course-sponsored connections did not influence development or creation time. Castle Links has an above-average variety when it comes to its fairways, but its greens are really where it shines. They are each so complex, making your putting game absolutely pivotal to good performance. I think this allows your ability with irons and chips to be highlighted, as landing on the green at the right spot is really important. Along with the variety shining, this course also shines in its environment, as thick brush and an awe-inspiring castle are encapsulated forever in a beautiful sunset. I hope that Golf Plus's team will use this as the standard they set for any made-up courses in the future. The most recent and likely most historic addition to Golf Plus so far, Pebble Beach, has lived up to its reputation here. For those that don't know, Pebble Beach hails from near Monterey, California, which is one of the most beautiful areas you can look over the Pacific Ocean in California. This is often considered one of the meccas for golfers all around the world. The surrounding beach and water is gorgeous, with the beauty rating only really suffering due to the lower quality textures given to houses and surrounding buildings. Perhaps the only thing keeping it in the number 2 spot for me. The fairways and the greens are well balanced in what they provide, whether that is sneakily placed hills or a good use of the surrounding natural features. And finally, we've made it to Squashy's number 1 golf course and all the VR golf courses out there. Drum roll, please. got it, it's Wolf Creek. Yes, Wolf Creek takes the top spot on my list. The canyon-based course hailing from Nevada was brilliantly textured, and the use of similar texture throughout provided the game a chance to really shine in its ability to be beautiful. It left behind the lower quality textures of houses, buildings, or clock towers and put it all into the course. The canyon hills and walls are used brilliantly to make you either risk it all for glory or hedge your bets with safe shots onto nearby fairway. It also lets the game sprinkle in the occasional water feature or patch of trees to break any potential monotony. The fairways deem it a 5 out of 5 variety ranking, but the easier green layout knocked that rating down a peg to 4.5. I felt it didn't really hit the 5 out of 5 that I wanted to give it. I also consider it one of the more difficult courses available, but if you're a beginner, don't worry, you will be having too much fun to care about a +5 on each hole. Man, my back hurts after playing all of those courses, but dang it if it wasn't an absolute blast. Golf continues to be one of the fastest growing areas of the VR gaming scene with significant competition and prizes. Although it is a bit sad that 3 out of the 4 top ranked courses are DLCs, I'm happy to see that newer courses are largely improving as time goes on. Except for you, Pinehurst. You stay in the shadows and hope no one buys you. Well, let me know down in the comments what your list looks like. What did I miss? What courses was I just wrong about? I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate your time and viewership. If you would like to join the community, I host monthly VR tournaments and community nights in my Discord. I would love for you to stop by, say hi, and get involved. On top of that, we are always talking about new news and events in social and casual sport VR. I look forward to seeing you around.